Just hours after posting my last Twisted Tower speedrun, the community found a whole bunch more skips for the game, and we've really brought the time down under 20 minutes, just a handful of days after release. So here's my 80% run in 17 minutes and 41 seconds on Fairy Tale difficulty. Gonna bypass this. We actually do have a load remover and auto splitter for the game now, so loads will be counted out as we move forward. Our movement tech is still basically just to do these power slides for about the first half of the game, and then we'll be switching to using the dash later on. Break this board, picked up our handy dandy mallet. Won't be seeing me pick up too many weapons in this route now. With the time being brought down, we skip a lot more fights and a lot of the paths where the weapons would be, but we're gonna open up the gate into the tower, and in we go. Very quick little beach segment there. Here we're just making sure we hit certain triggers, so right there, go back, go forward. That's gonna get this started. We have found a couple of small things in the lobby that could potentially one day be useful, but with how this game is structured, right now if we try to bypass any of the movement upgrades, we kind of just soft lock, so no major sequence breaks just yet. For now we're just gonna go through all of the levels accordingly, starting off with the hotel. So a few of the levels that we're going to be going through will give you either the left path or the right path randomly. And if you want a good run, it is pretty critical to get certain paths on certain levels. Seeing that coming up soon. We'll be talking about those as we get to them, but into the hotel we go. Continuing use dashes to get through. If you saw the last video, you know we start using a low FPS to get big jumps. I was doing those at 5 FPS beforehand. Turns out actually going all the way down to 3 FPS gives us even bigger jumps, so we can just jump up here, hit this lever, bypasses this first fight and getting the pistol entirely. And for this run, we have the left-hand side, which is the preferred path here now. Just about 10 seconds faster than the right side, thanks to using these jumps to bypass stuff. I'm gonna play it a little bit safe and get this big drink, which gives us 3 medkits, and use our 3 FPS jump just to get all the way up to the top of the room, bypass the fight. We're back to the hotel lobby. We're gonna hit the switch, make our way over to the bedrooms. This is where the 2 paths branch back together. So if we'd gotten the other side, we'd be back here. So we can use those low FPS jumps once again, not only to get height, but to use that to get over big gaps like this one here. This is quite a scary jump. It is quite the gap to get across. You can actually see here that I don't quite make it, and I want to make sure I hit restart from checkpoint before I actually fall into the void if I do miss that. That's simply because the death animation where it says fun's over takes a very long time. Whereas just simply reloading checkpoint is the faster way to save that. Second try, and we pick up the Tommy gun on the way out. This is a pretty useful weapon early on. A little bit more ammo, and use a low FPS jump to bypass getting around the room. Very small time save right there, but you know, anything that we can get, we'll take. Especially with the time coming down as low as it is, every second is starting to count for more and more. The final section of the hotel, the honeymoon suites. Not a lot going on here. No real skips. Just gotta have some clean movement. Hope the enemies don't do too much damage, but that's why I picked up the 3 med packs before. And over here we get our first twisted token. And with this in hand, we can go back to the lobby and open up the green door in the basement. So something you're not really seeing, but once the game's done loading, there's a little bit of a fade in before you actually can see again. In this fade in, you can actually move. So at the start of every level, I'm actually doing specific inputs, whether that's walking forward or jumping over something, to just save a little bit more time. Right here, you can see in the top right hand corner, my splits are red because I did take that death little bit behind pace. Obviously, we can clean it up a little bit, but I've got really good room luck, and I just want to show off all of the new skips the community's found. So the time can come down a little bit more. I'm sure we'll find some more optimizations in the future. Game's not even been out a week, and this is how far we've come. Let's give us another week, and who knows what's possible.
I haven't hurt her. Not really.
In the basement, we're just here to collect our harpoon gun, which will allow us to grapple up to the little points on the wall and ceilings. Actually, is going to become very vital in the Mermaid Palace for a pretty cool skip. You can use a low FPS jump to cross this gap instead of just going around the side there, but the less I have to play at 3 FPS, the better, and it only saves like a second, so I just opt to jump around the corner, then re-grapple. We'll grab our Mermaid Palace ticket and back to the lobby. We're going to pick up some more food just to the right here. Trigger the fight, pick up some more food. And the fun thing about this fight is just now really the only forced arena that we will see for the entirety of the game. Little spoiler alert there. And the spawns are pretty much set. Sometimes they're a little bit weird, like this guy should be spawning on the right, but for some reason he's up here on the left. And try to get him down. We got this Huggy Bear. Look for our next spawn over by the entrance. Getting really lucky with the machine gun ammo drops. We got these 2 phones. For some reason this one spawned downstairs, not sure why. Might have just been a little too close to the spawn point, but we have 3 more enemies down here in this main plaza section, and we'll have 2 up top. They also spawned by the entrance, not sure why that was. This fight did not treat me too well. They got the big clown. We're looking for the phone and the Huggy Bear. We're gonna pick up some more food after killing the phone off. 2 corn dogs there. With that fire out of the way, we go down to Mermaid Palace.
Once upon a time.
And of all the paths where we're given left or right in the run, this is the most critical. You want to make sure you get the right path. Saves a lot of time.
Welcome to my sensational water park, Vincent.
It's starting to become the point where if you get down to Mermaid Palace and you get left path, it's one you might as well reset.
Screaming with pleasure. Lathering lotion.
Dash through here. And we're using the low FPS jumps to just jump over 2 barricades. Why this path is faster, because on the left path you can only jump over 1 barricade and then you have to interact with the valve wheel. This side we don't have to do that, we just bypass the puzzle entirely. And now we're into the Crimson Pearl, which has one of the more unique skips in the run. One of the true out-of-bounds sections. I'm going to get some more ammo here. And this is actually going to use the grapple, so we're going to put in our code 1326. And I'm going to reload the save so that the enemies following me despawn. We're going to be going into this room to get the Magnum. Very handy weapon. And we're going to be sitting in a very specific spot on the floor. Hyper-specific even. We're going to lower FPS down to 3, grapple this, it's going to pull us through the wall. I'm going to pause the game so I'm out of bounds, change our FPS back up to a high frame rate, then spam jump so we get up on top of the map like this and we can just jump straight over to the end. And just bypass that entire fight. It's pretty cool, but it is really specific on all of the elements that go into it. The positioning, the frame rate, the timing. But, yeah, really cool skip. Now we're in the spider chase sequence. Not a lot going on here yet. We're doing all of our little slides around, pick up some more ammo.
Since my babies escaped the circus, mascots have been disappearing in this sewer. I may have said.
And then this is a true test of how good your movement is. You can see how many spiders you get past.
And I don't think they're ever going to stop. Whip out that shotgun and run.
So we actually bypass quite a few and hit this last one, which is pretty much impossible to not hit, but yeah, very clean through this segment. Get our purple twisted token back to the lobby.
We'll never see them again.
As I mentioned before, in the lobby, that was really our true one arena fight. We had the boss later on, but most of the run now is going to be movement and skips to just bypass everything. This is where the run's going to change just a little bit in terms of movement. We're going to be using these jump dashes instead of the slides. Have to turn this one twice. Grapple back. Turn this one 3 times. And then the final platform will turn just once. And this room is rather special, and it's void out. It's a tutorial, it doesn't want you to keep falling and getting that funds over screen. I said it takes a long time before. It actually just has a little teleport segment at the beginning of the room, so we can void out, skip having to dash all the way back, save a couple seconds, put in our ticket up to the Clown Casino. And Clown Casino's had a really interesting route change that also lets us set up a future skip for Lightspeed lands. We're gonna jump off here and then just a whole bunch of dashes off this floor as it's rising up. Spam, jump, and dash. So this is another one that gives us the left and right path choices, but here it's not going to matter. We're not going to go into them. Just going to start activating the slot machine. And all 3 of these are in this main lobby. And you're supposed to just go to that left or right path to get to the 3rd and final one. We won't be doing that, so we're going to grab this cube over here. Just to open this door. The enemies were not kind to me, just bashing the cube around. Once we go in here and get the bubble gun, we're going to reload this checkpoint. And while it's fading in, we're going to jump dash forward, which bypasses the fight trigger. So it's not going to close this gate that would otherwise kind of lock us in here. We're going to do a low FPS jump to get up top. And we can bypass that fight pretty easily. Pull our second slot machine handle. And we're going to go over here and get the red key, which we don't need to go through the red key door in this level, as I mentioned. That's the left or right path. We're actually going to save that key for later. A little bit more food on the way out. So here's the red key. We're going to pick that up and just stash it away.
Please forgive me.
So doing the left or right path, we're just going to grab this cube, put it up here, and try to jump up with low FPS before the enemies get to me. And there's the 3rd switch. Drop down, get our yellow twisted token. And we are done with Clown Casino. So in a lot of games, the keys you get for a segment or for an area are like tied to that area. That's not the case in this game. We can actually just pocket that red key and use it later on. Which is a really cool thing that we discovered as we were rerouting Clown Casino, that we could just keep that for later. But for now, back to the lobby. We have some upgrades to go and get. Some more skips to do. Come over here for the trampoline boots. Really short segment. What we have to do is grab the boots, use the trampoline to bounce up, grapple in here, and grapple out. Longest part about this section is the cutscene. With the trampoline boots in hand, we're going to the fairgrounds, which is back outside.
You're ready to meet me outside in the...
Only we're not going to enter the fairgrounds the way that you may think. First, we need to actually go and open the fairgrounds because we can't get back unless we do this. We have a way in past this gate, but we need it open so we can actually return. Instead of just going straight into there, we're going to use a low FPS jump to get on top of this statue out here. It's a little bit tricky because you need max height. And trying to get max height and then also walk forward at 3 FPS is a little tricky. So we get up here, we can jump on top of the door frame, do another low FPS jump up on top of the roof. We can slide through this collision. Some dashes up onto the rooftops and drop down towards the exit. Pull the lever so it wouldn't come back, it's open. Entering through the back of the fairgrounds, actually, picking up the red twisted token, bypassing the entire thing, and now we get to just immediately leave. So if all the doors open, we can make our way back to the hotel. Very short level nowadays. Fortunately, we don't get to do the giant Ferris wheel skip anymore, which is pretty cool. But with the red twisted token in hand, we can go over and get our double jump. And then we don't really need to do low FPS jumps anymore, which is also a really nice thing. Just making use of the dash to get around, slide if we don't have enough space for it. And with double jump, we need to climb this room. We can bypass the entirety of using the explosives and turning the valve wheels by jumping on all of this collision. Getting our Lightspeed Land ticket. And just drop down back to the lobby. So now all we have is really the Lightspeed Land and the rooftops before the final boss. Slap the ticket in there. Up we go. So you can see in the top left-hand corner, we still have that red key from before. It's telling us, hey, use me sometime, and don't worry, we will. But for this small little rooftop section here, gonna activate the grapple. Try not to die while picking up the big boy cannon, the rocket launcher. Try not to get hit too much because there is hit stun in the game, which kind of just freezes you in place. So here's where we're finally going to use that red key. We're just going to go immediately to the door. Typically you have to go and lose your weapons and go through a sequence of getting them back, riding some train cars around, some arena fights, eventually come back to the lobby, get the red key, and progress this way, but we're just going to bypass all that by having the red key from the Clown Casino beforehand. Saving a whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of a headache, and now we are going right up to the final rooftop segment, get some more ammo on the way out. This is our final left or right path. Left is distinctly faster. Not featured in this video, but found afterwards, because I went back and tested it with the save that I got from this run. There is a small way to skip this first grapple point. For now, we're just going to do this, backtrack just a little bit. Grapple up top. Second grapple part is very easy to skip. So the jump and a dash double jump, we can get over here. We're going to pick up some more rockets. Check these boxes for even more rockets, because rockets are the best weapon for this boss, especially with homing. Very cheap upgrade. Get a little bit more food. Grab our final ticket and up to the final boss we go.
I am finally proud.
So our typical strategy for the final boss is to use the homing rockets, which you can typically fire about 3 rockets off. Hope they hit. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just fly around forever. And after 3 rockets, you can fit in a couple more shots with the weapon if you're choosing. Keep activating the red bubbles that come out. These little activation things always spawn in the same spot.
Stop that!
It's pretty nice. It's not randomized.
Take him out, Vince!
Despite that, sometimes I still just look around because I forget what path we're on. Couple more shots. You're also hoping the red bubbles don't go behind, like that one did. Try to finish this thing off with the Magnum. So here we just got a little unfortunate with that last red bubble being behind the balloon. And we need one more. There we go. Twisted Tower completed in 17 minutes, 41 seconds. You can see my time change here in just a second to check the real time with loads, which is a 1941, just about 2 minutes slower. So a real time sub 20 minute run. Hope you enjoyed watching everything that the community's found in just a handful of days. If this run looks interesting to you and you want to help come break it some more or just learn the run, you can join the community Discord, which I will leave a link to down in the description. You can come watch me grind out these runs live at twitch.tv/BloodThunder, or you can just simply subscribe and like the video for more videos like this. Got some more speedruns planned in the future, some new games coming out that I'm sure that you will want to see broken. Thanks again for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Look forward to more videos.